during the course of the event, I feel I helped to run the event well. However, I feel I could have potentially contributed a little bit more and helped the other members of my team. This is because I was able to help set up the format of the event, as well as helping to organise the players, but during the event, I feel I could have helped more by gathering scores, for example, from the games. This would speed up the event and make it run smoother, as the players would have to wait less in between the games they play. Also, during the course of the event, an adaptable approach was required to ensure the event was a success. For example, before the event began, a player forgot to register through the website, so it was required for us to reset the website and push back the start time 15 minutes in order to allow the player to register and be ready for the event. Although this catered for the player who forgot, it also meant that other participants were getting bored as they had to wait an extra 15 minutes. So if this happened again, we would maybe have to not allow the player to play, or we could register him whilst the event was going on. If I were to do the event again, I would potentially reduce the time between registering and the first game. This is because the time was 30 minutes in between both, and the majority of players were registered in the first few minutes successfully, so they were waiting around for extensive time periods and getting bored before the tournament even began. So I feel I would shorten this time to ensure that everyone has fun and enjoys themselves. Overall, I think during the course of the event I performed well and carried out certain roles successfully. For example, my role as organiser, I was successful in ensuring all the participants were made aware of the rules prior to the event and know if anything occurred what they would need to do during the course of the event. However, I feel I could have helped to promote the event to a wider range of people across a variety of social media platforms, including Facebook and Twitter, as well as the ones I already promoted on. However, I feel I could have helped the scorekeeper. Also, I feel I could have helped the scorekeeper a little better by assisting and collecting scores from the games that happened, as this would have allowed us to communicate with the players at a faster rate to ensure they're not waiting around for long periods of time. I feel I successfully informed the players of health and safety procedures. These were limited, however, the players still need to be made aware of them. For example, the correct distance to sit away from the television to ensure that they all enjoy the event safely, as this was part of my responsibility as an organiser to make sure everyone's aware of these. I also think I communicated successfully with the participants before the tournament began regarding the start times of when they had to be registered and when they had to play their first games. This was one of my responsibilities as organiser, to make sure all the participants are aware of the details regarding the event. However, I feel I could have been a little bit more successful when communicating with the players during the event regarding who they're playing next. This would be beneficial to do next time, as it will speed up the event and reduce waiting times between games if more of us are able to communicate with the players. I also feel I was able to adapt successfully during the course of the event. This is because certain players' Wi-Fi's went down and they disconnected from the match, so I had to decide their fate within the tournament, which was that they would be removed from the tournament and it would count as a loss. This was made aware to the participants before the tournament, so there were no complaints and it was fair for all taking part. The first assessment method we used was formative assessment. This was carried out during the course of the event, and we were able to review certain aspects and milestones that occurred during the course of the event. For example, when everyone was able to register, we could tick that off as completed, and we would be required to complete all to ensure the event was a success. And we were able to complete all of these as a way of checking all the details we needed to include in the event. A summative assessment was also carried out after the event, where we were able to determine the level of success of the event and what went well and what could have been improved, and this allowed us to evaluate what we could have done better if we were to do the event again, as well as looking at customer feedback and what they feel went well with the event and how we can improve it going forward. I also use self-evaluation methods to evaluate my own performance in the event and how I could improve in future events, as well as using other methods such as peer assessment and group discussions with other members in my group, and we discussed each other's contributions and also how we could improve together in the future. I feel I was partly responsible for the success of this event. One way I think I was responsible for the success was through effectively communicating with the participants prior to the event. This is because I feel I was able to do this effectively by ensuring they are aware of the rules within the event, such as start times and what will happen in certain situations, for example, if someone disconnects. However, I feel I could have been more successful when communicating during the event, such as gathering scores. Another way I think I was responsible for the success of the event was by working well with other members of the team. I feel this played a huge part in the success, as we were able to communicate with each other quickly and efficiently regarding what needs to be done within certain situations that occurred. It also increased the speed in which we made decisions and made the event run smoother to ensure everyone enjoyed it. One final way I think I was responsible for the success of the event was through promoting the event through social media. I feel I've done this well on various social media platforms such as Instagram and Snapchat, which gathered participants to take part in the event. However, it could have been more beneficial if we promoted to other social media platforms such as Twitter and Facebook to ensure we cater to a wider range of audience and potentially increase the numbers.